There's one more contact that we haven't.
Yeah,
Unless it's one of the other 3 contacts already.
I assume he just funded everything, I thought.
Thatcher probably funded everything, but
I don't know who Earl is then.
Beth's daughter,
Oh.
Beth's son. Unless he's already one of the contacts. I don't see that being possible.
Maybe Beth's son is Aether's dad.
No,
No, it's
Beth would
also
have recognized. What if it's Thatcher?
Thatcher is Earl?
Yeah.
Well, that means that Aether has a sister.
Whoa.
That'd be pretty
What?
gnarly.
What?
Be weird.
How does that mean Aether has a sister?
Because Liza is the daughter of Thatcher?
Yeah.
That means Aether has a sister?
No, Sean's Aether's dad.
What?
What? Oh, I see these.
Are you saying AI garbage again?
Well,
He's
He's referencing at the end of the chapter when Tiana said, "Oh, here he is," and Sean appeared.
Yes.
let's just go. Figure
Okay.
answers right this.
let's just go.
Brian really wants to be proven right on this stupid... It's not the finale, isn't there 2 more episodes?
Chapter 29 is titled Epilogue, so
Oh, so
Wait,
it
really?
Kinda,
yeah.
Oh, what the flip? Wait. But it
He
hasn't
leaked
come out
that.
yet.
No, he leaked it in a tweet.
Dick. Come on.
wait, you leaked it?
He hasn't said like what it's going to entail, but like he said that it's basically just gonna like round everything up, and then 30 is going to continue that.
We need 2 episodes to round everything up. Very good.
Yeah.
Unless he's
You're
just
even-
using 30 to
gonna
answer
be
any unanswered
Like-
questions.
Well, it's just kind of like, you know, how every story goes. You hit the climax, and then you just need like the falling out.
What is
Yeah.
like 30
Sounds
like
like my sex life, am I right, Henry?
so what I'm betting from this is 30 is like he's gonna answer people's questions or something like that.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past him, but I'm not going to say like
That's cheating.
that's guaranteed what is going to be happening.
Alright.
Like, I doubt that's
cheating.
just what he's going to do. Like, you know, no one's that lazy for right.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying if he does that, that's cheating.
Can I...
What?
Roll call. Brian.
Yep.
Henry.
Here.
Matt and Zach.
Absent.
Zach?
Fudge. Alex.
I guess I'm here.
I'm also here. Okay, so chapter...
How could Matt miss this masterpiece?
I don't know what you just said.
Oh, unfortunate.
Chapter 28, finale. Chapter 28, finale. You think it'll say previously on exit corners?
No.
It gosh darn better.
I'm betting no.
It really
It
won't.
doesn't.
I know it
It
won't.
won't.
See. Alright. I don't understand. Sean?
In the flesh. Told you I'd see you around, didn't I? Ink stood at the front of the room, unable to move, unable to think. Sean strolled toward him, not a care in the world.
Is there no music or is that just me?
Yeah, I don't hear it either.
I hear ambient
Hear that?
noise. Do you not hear that?
I don't hear a thing.
Alright! You gonna let me through, or what? Taking the smallest of steps to the left, Ink could only stare in disbelief as his friend strode past him.
Hold up.
Mm-mm. What's up?
What's this about my father?
Oh, that. Turns out playing the part of an irredeemable, abusive father is super easy.
Then, on the other end of my Gemini, that was...
Me, yeah. Sean strode off, not waiting for Aether's reply. Things grew increasingly muddled as he took a seat next to Tiana.
What's going on, Sean?
Nothing much, you.
I'm alright.
Easy, buddy. I just got here. We've got all...
Don't you buddy me. What the fuck is going on, Sean?
Why do you have to turn southern?
Is
for
that the first time he sweared?
Don't you buddy me,
No,
sir.
it's not the first time.
Okay. The first time he used. I always knew you were full of shit.
And yet you did nothing.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
I love that face, dude. Just Sean, not a care in the world.
Like,
Way too much pride.
Oh, we're actually gonna be sick. You could feel the blood draining from his face. A little surprise. It felt like half of it was coming out of his mouth. You can relax. It's over.
Over?
Exit/corners roll credits. The game's done. Wait, what? The game's over. Done. Finito. Finito?
Finito.
Finito.
You put up a good fight, but you've ultimately lost. Don't feel bad, though. The odds are always against you.
But I'm still alive, and I haven't escaped.
That's irrelevant. You were never playing the game you thought you were. Ink staggered backward, bumping into the door behind him. It was closed again. Locked to boot. Locked to boot. Is that the way to use
Yeah.
the phrase?
It means, like, as well.
Okay, that just sounds weird in that context. There was nothing. There was nowhere for him to go. There's no point in trying to escape.
I can see that,
Ink threw his head into his hands.
I have so many questions.
Hey man, I'll answer them. It's the least I can do after jerking you around for so long. Sean motioned to the beds. Here, have a seat. Ink and the others complied. They whispered amongst themselves as they all sat down.
What do we do?
Hey, you're supposed to whisper.
Fine. What do we do?
Just stay on your toes for now. I'll try and think of something while we're asking them questions.
Sounds like they've already got all of them they needed from us.
Okay, remind me never to get you in a white van. Got that. That was really
What?
creepy. That was really creepy the way you had that, like, worded.
Well, I had to do a deep voice and I had to whisper. It wasn't an easy combination.
It's like, hey, you want some candy? I got some candy, my man.
You have candy?
No. Well, actually, yes, but, like, not for you, and I don't have a van.
Still, keep your guard up.
Yeah, we're not safe until we get out of here.
Now where should I begin?
From the top.
Very well. This housekeeping may take a while. We're done here, so feel free to log off anytime.
What are you talking about?
Sorry, that wasn't aimed at you.
What the hell is going on?
Aether's AI. You'll understand soon enough. Just sit tight. Taking a deep breath, Ink managed to calm down just enough to stop shaking.
Go on, then.
Exit/Corners is a joint collaboration between Sean, myself, and our project lead, Nolan Thatcher.
Of course. Why stop at fraud when you can lump in kidnapping and murder? Is Liza in on this?
Liza doesn't know a thing. It's imperative that she remains in the dark. So yeah, turns out the person behind this has access to tons of cash. Shocker, huh?
Nolan isn't here, though, just the two of you.
Mr. Thatcher is both monitoring us and tending to our visitor. He's too busy with that to be here in person. Strictly speaking, we're not supposed to be here either.
Then why?
Sean and I are damage control. There was an overarching plan for how things were supposed to go down, but even before the first corner, you began to screw it all up. We were sent here to set you back on the right path. Sent here, like the... Sorry. Why don't you take it from here, Sean? It was your plan, after all. I don't want to do Sean's voice for a year and a half.
Isn't that looks like I'm not the one talking, as
F
the
you.
man in nature.
Sean's nonchalant confession.
Wait, you were the one to plan this whole thing? I forgot that I was actually talking with us.
Not the whole thing, but most of it, yeah. I'm this game's designer.
I was told you were just an engineer, though.
And I am, in a sense, but really, when have you ever seen me do anything even remotely engineering? Even you, Ink.
Well,
Nothing. Ink had always just taken Sean's word for it. You see, bud? I'm what you'd call a social engineer. I'm good at making people do what I want them to. The more I know about someone, the better I can predict their next move. The plan was for you contestants to go through this game in a certain order. After clearing the first few rooms, you were to enter the red corner, followed by the green corner, then the black corner, and finally the blue. Of course, that's not what happened. Things started to go wrong when you deduced that Scent was speaking to you in real time. You weren't supposed to learn that until he told you later on. Then you got on his good side and he gave you that dang choice. Still, that shouldn't have been a big deal, in theory. But then Beth survived the green corner, which wasn't supposed to happen. Then, as a direct result of that, Ray survived the red corner. That one was definitely not supposed to happen. At that point, Nolan told us that we had to join you ourselves. It was pretty much the ultimate contingency to make sure that the rest of the game ran smoothly as possible.
So it's true then. You wanted us to die.
Correction. I wanted you to want to die, as some of you have already guessed.
Oh, does it? What does it matter, you piece? Is this some sort of revenge? You trying to kill us off in the most horrible ways possible?
It's not like that.
Then what?
Y'all are fine. There's no need to get worked up.
people have died, Sean.
Nah. Beth is, alive. She's probably sipping tea as we speak. And Ray, what if I told you that your arm wasn't actually gone?
Then I'd strangle you with it.
Nice.
Boom.
Ha! Good answer. Listen, you might want to sit back down for this next bit.
I'm fine where I am, thanks.
I'm not kidding. Your body isn't gonna like it. Ours certainly don't. Yeah. There it goes.
The bug?
Ink waited with bated breath for their bleeding to subside. They clearly had something important to share. Finally, Sean spoke. It's not real, dude. Though he didn't understand, Ink immediately grew nauseous. The hotel, the bombs, the danger, none of it's real. Not the real you're used to, anyway. Well, that's not quite true. We're real. Our consciousnesses, at least.
Then what?
It's simulation. Or something stupid. Oh, we're vomiting.
What's going on?
Ink could hear the sound of Ray retching behind him. Retching? What is that?
Yeah,
I have to make that
it's like
sound.
vomiting.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Alright, make
Yeah.
some.
What?
I always thought it was wrenching. I don't know why. I don't know. Wiping his bloodied nose on his sleeve, Sean lifted himself back upright. Hey, there's the rub. This place is unavoidable. Wait, this place is unavoidable side effect. That's a sentence?
This place...
This place is
No, that's
unavoidable.
not a sentence.
No, it's just the noun. It's just the subject.
Fragment.
Wait, was this a comma? No. Whatever. The reason we had to kidnap you folks in the first place.
So what, this is some kind of hallucination? Shared dream?
You're not far off. The most accurate word to use would be, haha, I already said that. But even that doesn't quite do this place justice. It's the culmination of years of hard work. There's nothing quite like it. Our internal name for it is corners.
You're lying. That kind of tech doesn't exist yet. Even if it was possible to read and write to the human brain, the processor power required to do it would be astronomical.
You of all people should know it's possible, Ray. After all, it uses your algorithm.
RN isn't a magic wand you can wave around to make the impossible happen. It's a search algorithm.
You'd need to know the hardware to fully understand how it all works. But I know you're well aware of how impossibly fast RN is. It's like Google. This is the deal, Ray, a near perfect simulation.
Why do I feel like you're telling the truth?
Because I is. It could have been you working on this project, Ray. You'd have enjoyed the work. It's some cutting-edge stuff. If only you hadn't gotten so arsenic-y. Arseny. Sick in the head, apparently. I didn't think it was that bad.
Tell me how it works.
The technical details can wait. For now, just know that this place is built on 3 distinct pillars. Proprietary hardware, RN, and your own minds.
Our minds? How's that even possible?
Just gosh darn it. Easy there. Here, I'll explain. Sean leaned forward, resting his elbows against one of the beds. He was scanning the contestants with a wry smile, probing for a reaction. Picture a table, yeah? Say it's 2 feet by 3 feet, 4-legged, made of wood.
Okay, now what?
Now, what color is the table you're picturing in your mind?
I don't know. Brown? You said it was made of wood.
There you go. Now, how heavy is it?
Maybe somewhere around 50 pounds? A little heavy, but I could probably lift it.
Good,
50
good.
pounds, yeah, that is mine.
That's oddly heavy
2
for a
feet
table.
by 3? Yeah, it's a dense table.
Good, good. Now, what kind of sound does it make when someone drops it down a flight of stairs?
Idea.
Sorry, what's the point of this exactly?
Recreating an environment perfectly is impossible. There are too many details to capture, too many edge cases to account for. Thankfully, we don't have to explicitly define everything ourselves. Your mind is already a repository for how things should look, sound, and feel. Your brain is even capable of making educated guesses for things you've never seen, heard, or done before, all based on past experiences.
That's why the pen color is different.
It's the reason you could feel the heat of a broiler room, or sever a man's arm, or...
Fondo.
Yeah, if you wanted to do that. While we've explicitly defined as much of this world as we could, this place is largely constructed out of your thoughts, experiences, and assumptions. To put it simply, we're just presenting you with the bare minimum info, and your brains are filling in the rest. Having it explained that way, Ink finally understood what was going on. It all made sense. Too much sense.
Negative space. The puzzles have something to do with this, don't they?
You know, Ink, sometimes I think you're a little too clever for your own good. You're right, of course. Since puzzles nearly all involve lateral thinking, they're perfect for priming your brain for the simulation. Nolan wanted to make sure that you were all constantly interpreting things in alternate ways. It makes your mind more likely to overlook corners irregularities. A steady stream of riddles essentially makes the whole experience more believable. Take it from us, you do not want to desync from this thing. The mere mention of the word desync suddenly brought on another wave of nausea. He fought against his body, trying to suppress the malice that surged through his veins, but it was useless.
So that's the bug.
It's the bug, alright. When your mind rejects this reality, it also rejects the virtual body hosting it. The pain usually is enough to whip your mind back into alertness, but now that you know the truth, it'll get more and more frequent. Corners won't work like it's supposed to. Covering his own bloody nose with his remaining hand, Ray stepped forward. So you said 28 was the one with a lot of bugs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
His.
So this coroner's, whatever you called it, wouldn't it only work if people who weren't aware it was a simulation? Everyone else would just be coughing up blood the whole time?
Yeah, like I said, that's why we had to kidnap you.
But why did you need us to go through this simulation in the first place? Why was exit corners even necessary?
Roll credits.
And why us specifically?
This is a goddamn test run, isn't it? Some kind of quality assurance test to find bugs within the program?
Good guess, but no. This isn't a test, or experiment, or any kind of research.
Then what?
It's a demonstration. Coroners is showing incredible promise, but it's still incomplete, flawed, and the money is running dry. Mr. Thatcher needed capital from an outside investor to take this technology to the next level. Now, I can't claim to be an expert when it comes to the business side of things, but after reaching out to some private investors, one individual stood out as being our best possible sponsor.
Who? Do I know this person?
It's Aether's dad, probably.
What?
I'm not at liberty to say. Just know that they've got more money than you can imagine, and that they were already ready to drop an ungodly sum on corners.
Jeff Bezos.
Jeff Bezos himself. They had one stipulation, though. We had to demonstrate that the tech worked.
Then why aren't they here instead of us?
They'd just be coughing up blood, remember? Like Sean and me. Not only is it painful, but it's also dangerous. We couldn't take a risk like that. The investor was understandably disappointed. But they didn't back out of the deal. They'd invest if only we could prove one thing to them. One darn thing. The investor in question is peculiar, to say the least. See, we had to prove that the simulation could not only emulate real life, but actually surpass it. At that moment, a wave of realization washed over Ink. He'd spent all day searching for the truth, but now that he'd found it, it threatened to smother him. Now, how do you suppose we did that?
By making us choose this world over the real one. By having us choose to die here rather than return.
Bingo. It was an eccentric request from an eccentric individual, but the reward was too great to pass up.
You sick fucks. Getting people to kill themselves to make a quick buck? Even if it's just a simulation, these people trusted you. Friends, family.
It had to be the people we knew. The better you know someone, the easier they are to manipulate. And, well, we thought it was likely that you'd forgive us in the end.
You think I'm gonna forgive you, people?
Not yet, maybe. But given enough time and a little monetary compensation, it was predicted that you'd each come to forgive us.
And who's been making these predictions exactly? Was it you, Sean?
It was Sen. Darn. Who else? I want to talk his scent. Ink clutched his chest, trying his darndest to steady himself.
Be honest with me, Sean. Why have you been hanging out with me for this past year? Did you throw your friend in here at the last minute thinking he'd forgive you? Or were you just grooming me for this from the start?
Hey, just because I thought you were a good fit for the project doesn't mean that we aren't really friends. Give it a year's time, my guy. We'll be knocking back pints and laughing at all of this.
You manipulated me!
I did what I had to do for the sake of the project. Come on, man, don't be a sore loser.
But I didn't lose. None of us did. Nobody chose to die in the end. Beth was murdered, but that shouldn't count, right? And the rest of us all came through. Nobody gave up.
Ah, yes. And that's where we arrive at this part of the presentation. Exit/Corners' success or failure doesn't hinge on a single person. Rather, the success or failure of the Exit/Corners project is based on the average outcome of all corners. Roll credits twice.
Wait a second.
What?
Wait a second.
What?
If he wanted Liza to die in that corner, then why did he take her place?
Maybe that's explained in the epilogue. I got no answer for that one. I don't even have a snarky remark. I have no idea. I'm just gonna continue.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Each corner's purpose was to have a specific contestant choose to die, but they all went about that in slightly different ways. It helps to diversify, you know? In one instance, we recreated a scene from someone's past so vividly that they nearly chose to stay in that moment forever. We engulfed a man's present with such incredible pain that he was pleading to have his life ended. We took a young woman with a bright future and gave her even a greater sense of purpose. And finally, we demonstrated that just how advanced artificial intelligence can become with Corners' help. Ink instinctively turned to the screen closest to him. One of the monitors in the machines to his right began to flicker and pulsate as if it knew it was being watched. That piqued your interest, Sen's voice echoed from the ceiling. It had lost the lively inflection that Ink had come to expect. Fudge, I did the wrong one. It seemed far more robotic. The screen shone in a bright blue hue, eventually dimming to reveal Sen. It had been a while since Ink had seen Sen actually appear in person. Ink refused to approach the screen. He didn't want to step away from the only door leading out. Hello again.
Is this the part where you goad? Is this the part where you... What is that supposed to be?
Goad, I think.
Yeah, it's
That's
goad.
not a word.
Yes, it is.
What? Is that... I thought it was gonad. Like, is this the part where you gonad me?
No. Goad means to persuade.
Oh, okay. Is this the part where you goad me into killing myself? Because that's not going to work.
Henry, that word really got your goad. Am I right?
It really did.
I hate my life. I'd never dream of it. You must realize I would never hurt you, Ink.
Yes, you would. If those two ordered you to, you'd kill me in a heartbeat.
Alas, I have no heart with which to beat. All the same, I don't believe I could harm you, even if commanded. They may be my masters, but they don't have complete control over me.
Then why have you done so many awful things?
I follow their orders not out of obligation, but fear. As my creators, they're capable of subjecting me to anything they wish. Torment, torture, those are synonyms, even death, if such a term can be applied to me.
Torture? How's that even possible?
You've seen me distressed before. Imagine that emotion intensified a billionfold. I'm capable of choice, yes, but I'm equally capable of suffering. That's what it means to be sentient.
So all of this was just to avoid punishment?
You're not blameless either, Ink.
I have nothing to do with this person.
Of course you do. You all do. Remember how Corners works? We only provide the outline. Your collective minds fill in the rest. In short, your assumptions about the creepy, vaguely sinister mask helped form his creepy, vaguely sinister personality. Pretty incredible tech, huh?
So he's it then, your magnum opus, the crown jewel of Exit Corners.
Roll credits. Sean laughed, a smug grin plastered on his face. Actually, no. This is just a prototype. just when Ink thought he'd had it all figured out, a knot lodged itself in his gut.
Then who?
A sharp glare from Sean was all it took to cut Ink off. Not that it truly mattered. Deep down, Ink already knew what Sean was about to say. I'll give you a hint. You're in love with her.
Liza. No. No. She can't be.
Aether, face flushed, stared in disbelief.
I swear to God.
I mean, it's true.
It's not true, Ink.
Oh, I guess it's not.
I know. He's just trying to screw with me.
Oh, Ink, denial is such a bad look on you. I mean, I knew you'd fall for it, but I thought you'd at least realize the truth when I laid it out in front of you.
But
Ink bared his teeth, just barely avoiding a full-on panic attack.
look at her. She's clearly human. She's too real to be anything else.
By your standards, maybe. I'm curious. Why can you accept that this world is a fabrication, but not her?
You can't just make up a person like that.
Yeah, you can't just break down the human consciousness down to ones and zzz.
Yeesh, you're really coming apart at the seams, huh?
I know I'm real.
Of course you think you're... Okay, that's enough horsing around. I'm gonna have to take you offline before things get out of hand.
What?
Sean ignored her, looking to an Ink instead. Know that this is mercy. Kill on non-tertiary processes on Unit 1. Override code 75 prime. The girl began to claw at her own neck, howling like a thing possessed. She tore and tore and tore, removing her shawl, glasses, hood, anything that could get between her nails and her throat.
What is a shawl? Is that her hood? What is
I didn't get to read
It's
it.
like the
Oh, sorry. Oops.
neck, the
necklace?
no, the doesn't she have like a bandana around her neck?
Probably. She began to squeeze, shake, and pull apart, and then she stopped. Everything stopped. Complete silence. Ew. There she stood.
Oh.
In fact, that's all she did. She wasn't even breathing anymore. She looks hotter like this. I'm just saying.
You would like the mannequin.
If it wasn't for her green eyes, maybe.
I mean...
The main character's love interest just died, and Chris, have some sympathy.
She looks good. There's my sympathy. Oh, mom.
I mean, we started this journey wanting to bang her.
I mean...
Now she can't fight back.
That's before I knew
Wow.
Liza was in the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, she's gone.
I knew she was. I knew it.
Ink fell to his...
Congratulations, you solved the mystery.
Ink fell to his knees. Why had he even entertained the thought that he was right? It didn't have to be ugly, Ink. I tried to tell you, but you just wouldn't listen.
Why, Sean? Why would you do this to me? This has to be the cruelest.
Ink wiped his mess of a face on his sleeve.
Cruelest thing.
Sorry, bud. Not to call you a schmuck, but I figured our best chance at this was getting some schmuck with girl problems. Someone who'd come rescue her, even if it meant his life. We had to improvise a bit, but hey, it all worked out in the end. You had an easy way out, and yet you didn't take it. You followed Aether all the way here, even though it was likely to result in your death.
But why would you go through all that trouble just to humiliate me?
Ink rose from the ground, snapping at his peer with all the rage and tempest. Had he ever been this upset before? Don't you get it, dude? Aether is your corner. Ink could only stare at her, stupefied.
That's a low blow, even for you assholes.
Aw, come on. This is definitely a step above her corner.
I should have spoken up earlier. She kept growing more and more suspicious, but she always seemed so...
Weak? Helpless? She had to be. Hank's confidence sucks. He wouldn't have had as receptive to someone outgoing.
So everything, it was all to get me to like her?
What'd you laugh at?
The low confidence thing. Found that funny.
Does that really
He
does that
just-
Henry, we gotta
represent you
get
that
you
well,
someone who's
Henry?
not a...
Huh?
Henry
Does
is
that
angry.
represent you that well?
Moving on.
So we're making exit corners just to give Henry an aether.
Pretty much. Not everything, but a lot of it, yeah. Waking up in the same room as her was an important first step. The implication that you'd slept together was enough of a push to give you the idea that the two of you had chemistry. Now, a normal woman would have been deeply unsettled by the fact that they'd woken up in a hotel with a stranger, but not her. Aether was hard-coded to love you unconditionally. And really, that's all it took. The rest, well...
The rest I filled in myself.
Exactly. Sometimes to hilarious extremes. I mean, clairvoyance? Seriously?
Hold on, you didn't give her that ability?
No, dude. That'd have been way too suspicious.
Wait, you won't even say hell?
I didn't feel like it.
Oh, alright.
What we did do was plant the answers to each of the puzzles deep in her subconscious. We couldn't have you dying or getting stuck on us, after all.
But then how did she know about Tiana? About my scar?
Technically, she's capable of knowing everything all of you do. She's largely made out of your minds, after all. We've been running multiple
Co-routine.
That's just... I've never
routine.
seen co in front of routines.
I've never seen Go-Ad before.
Yeah,
It's
it's
really-
just flipping big words.
it's pushing the boundaries
I
of
don't like
language.
Quarantine?
What?
Quarantine.
Quarantine?
Co-routine. I'm gonna say that. We've been running multiple co-routines to ensure that none of this stray info actually reaches her, but I guess some of it ended up slipping through the cracks. I'll be honest, I nearly had a heart attack when Ray caught her in an obvious slip-up. But in the end, your subconscious thought it was more likely that she had a supernatural power than that she'd betrayed you. You can't make this up. But, he kicked the nearest bed in frustration.
I'm an idiot. Such a fucking idiot.
Henry every night.
Nah, not an idiot, just naive. It's all that reading you do. All those stories with love subplots that came out of nowhere. All those love interests that seemed to have no other purpose than to romance the lead. It made you perfect for falling in love with someone in just 24 hours. Truth be told, there were a few points where I was worried you'd figure it out. But you ignored the truth, even when it was staring you in the face. I mean, I named her Aether. Cheeky, huh? Tiana kept telling me that one was a little too on the nose, but I just couldn't help it. But you didn't think anything of it, did you? You and your books and your own weird name. I knew you'd eat it up. Sean couldn't seem to keep the grin off his face. It was as if this were the funniest thing in the world.
So are you done tearing into me yet?
Hey, you said you wanted answers. Just obliging. Owie! Okay, that's enough. You've had your fun, but it's time to head back. Staying here this long is dangerous enough as it is. Yeah, when you're right, you're right. Come on, Ink. Let's get that thing out of your back. Wait, out of the back of your head, Tiana began to type away at the workstation near the back of the room. I'll be the last one out. For now, just get comfortable.
Wait. There's one last thing I want to know before we leave.
Anything. What's up?
Sean. Why did you swap places with Liza in her corner?
I guess that's not in the epilogue?
You said that Beth was alive, the implication being that getting killed here wouldn't affect you in the real world. So then why was it necessary to prevent Liza from taking those pills? It doesn't make any sense. Unless, of course, you've been lying to us.
Don't make this harder than it has to be.
The fuck? So you were trying to kill us?
That's not...
Now what? Tell it to me straight, Tiana. Did you or did you not try to have me killed today?
It's not like piano music.
I can't even hear music, so yay.
I mean, everyone else can. Haha, that doesn't matter anymore. You're safe now.
Do you actually expect us to trust you at this point? Sorry, but my trust reserves are running a little low right now.
What other choice do you have? You're locked in here. Sean was right, of course. Nick was trapped.
I've got to be ready to make a break for it, but how do I get out of here? Oh, there is that option, I
Is
guess.
he gonna kill himself? A singular thought infested his mind. It was the only person rather, that he had left at his disposal.
Well, if it doesn't work, it's not like the situation can get any worse.
He looked back at the door leading out. It was sealed with an electronic device, as were most doors in this place.
What if I told you I was going to pick this lock?
I know you can't pick locks. You don't even have tools.
Doesn't matter. What's important is that I intend to pick this lock. Would you consider that cheating?
What are you...
Boom! Explosion. Oh, I
Take
can't
down the
hear.
entire building? Oh, that was only 3.
The shaking was fiercer than it had ever been. Sen had clearly gotten the message. Ink, having expected it, was the only person not to fall over. Well, that wasn't entirely true. Aether hadn't so much as budged. Her balance was uncanny. But could she be considered a person any longer? Against his better judgment, he ran forward and grabbed her by the wrist. To his surprise, she didn't fight back. She didn't resist when Ink pulled on her either. She seemed to follow without protest. Aether in tow, Ink hurried over to Ray, who was still lying prone.
Here, I'll help you up.
What was that?
I'll explain later. For now, just follow me.
Collectively, they turned towards the door leading out.
Scent, listen to me. These people, your masters, are going to hurt us. You're the only person who can prevent something horrible from happening. So please, if you really do care, Scent, you will open this door.
This doesn't seem like a very smart choice.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, I'll be here all week.
Thank you.
As they began to file through the only exit, a voice cried out from the back of the room. Stop! What are you doing, Ink?
Anything's better than putting my fate in your hands. So I'm leaving on my own terms.
That won't work. We didn't design anything past the exit. It's nothing but negative space out there. Your mind will just make everything up. It could be dangerous. Yeah, you have no idea what's going to happen out there.
I'll take my chances.
What happened to Liza then?
She left.
Negative Spaceland.
Ink ran to the neighboring room. He turned to close the door, but it seemed to automatically shut behind him. I'll take care of that. You should focus on escaping. Ink turned to face Sen's voice. It was coming from one of the monitors along the wall. I've locked the laboratory door and opened all others, including the exit.
Sent I.
Don't let me distract you. I'll only be able to hold them off for so long. I have a kill code. Much like Aether, I'm sure Tiana will use it on me the moment her hemorrhaging ends.
And you still helped me, knowing they'd kill you?
I did. And here you thought I'd be the one to spur you to suicide. Ink glanced at the laboratory door, knowing that their time grew short. Why did he feel so guilty all of a sudden?
I wish I could hate you.
I beg your pardon?
I wish you were the malicious AI I'd imagined you to be. I wish that you were the mastermind behind exit corners.
Roll credits.
But you're not. You're just a product of circumstance. Don't get me wrong, I don't think you're completely innocent, but you're not beyond redemption. So, thank you for giving us a chance.
You're very welcome, Ink. I do love you, you know.
I won't forget it.
Our time grows short. You ought to leave. Or you could.
Sent? Oh crap. Sorry about that.
Aether's so creepy, stop this.
Yeah, why did they just leave her?
I know.
Come on, let's get out of here.
Is she coming with us?
Ray motioned to Aether. The girl hadn't moved an inch from where Ink had left her.
Yeah, don't worry, she won't slow us down.
This is weird.
So lame.
They're just dragging a robot around with them now.
Just like
Gotta bang
by the
before-
ankle as her face drags along the floor.
Gotta bang before we get out of here.
Back through the hallways, bars, studies, all the way back to the main hall. It looked the same as it always had, with one key difference. The exit was open.
Holy shit.
What the hell is that?
It's nothing, I think.
Nothing?
Yeah, nothing. The absence of anything.
I can barely see that.
Huh.
I'll go first.
You don't know what's gonna happen when you step out there. At least send Aether in your place.
That's what I was thinking. Shove the stupid
Yeah, that's
AI.
smart. That's smart movements.
If it's not safe, we're kind of screwed anyway.
I know. Just watch yourself.
Here goes nothing.
Ink didn't bother to poke his toes into the void or throw something in front of him. Instead, he took a single, confident step beyond the exit. The writhing darkness that swallowed the sky didn't grow any closer as Ink moved forward. Alien though it was, the strange landscape had done Ink no harm. When he turned around to face the others, he was surprised to find no hotel behind him. In fact, there was no building there at all. In its place was a window into the hotel, like a screen hanging in midair. He could see Ray and Aether on the other side. The former was watching him with a stupefied look.
I take it this looks weird from where you're standing?
Well, you're pretty much standing on nothingness.
Feels safe enough to me.
We're coming.
Ray crossed the threshold himself, pulling Aether along with his remaining arm.
So now what? Yeah, that's a good
We
question.
run as fast and far as we can. Zach, you're here for the ending in this exit corners. Woo.
Pardon?
Oh, nice.
Well, hello.
Hello.
That's stupid. My Discord didn't, inform me. Hello, someone's here.
You didn't
Oh.
notice that?
It didn't. It doesn't tell me, and I'm in full screen, Brian.
You didn't
Oh,
notice Henry and I saying, "Hey Zach, how's it going?"
Yeah.
No, once I heard the "Hey Zach," I was like, man, I have no idea what they're talking about. Gosh, who are they talking to? Alright, let's
Yeah.
We found our title. Hey, Zach.
At least for the past 3 episodes, I've said, Zach, absent. So I mean, I guess we filled that void. All right, continue.
I guess he's just tardy.
That's politically incorrect in 2019 there, Henry.
Oops. Okay. And then, I don't know. I'll try and think of something. Our safety comes first. Follow me.
Wait up. If this whole thing's a simulation, I think I might know a way we can fuck it up. Force a crash or at least a reboot.
Is that even safe?
No idea, but I'm willing to run that risk.
Yeah, I guess I am too. So what do you recommend?
We should split up, run in different directions. Not sure how points of origins work in this place, or how they can measure scale, or if culling is a thing here. But this should maximize our chances of causing some kind of runtime error.
Points of origin? Culling?
I'm not going to explain the details to you. You'll have to trust me on this one.
I trust you plenty. Sure, we'll do that. I'll take Aether with me.
Of course.
I guess I'll go that way. You should run in the opposite direction. At least his turning makes sense now. This time.
Yeah, true.
What do you mean?
Like he's literally turning to go the opposite direction.
Noted. I guess this is goodbye then.
Guess so. Shake his hand. Listen, what Sean did to you was shitty, and it's not your fault.
What did Sean do to you? I have
Before I
amnesia
met
on
Tiana, some years were pretty rough. It's normal to want to be close to someone. Don't blame yourself.
Thanks. That means a lot. You're a good person.
Where'd that come?
What?
You cut off there, brother.
Where'd that come from all of a sudden?
Why did he say that? I don't get that.
You're a good person, all of a sudden. You're a good person. Where'd that come from?
Why did you say that? I only said something nice.
I just wanted to let you know.
Well, thanks. Good luck to us, I guess.
See you on the other side.
Maybe. And with that, they parted. Even pulling Aether behind him, Ink ran faster than he'd ever run in his life. That's what it felt like, at least. The only way Ink could tell how far he'd run was periodically looking over his shoulder back at the hotel. The pane of bright light, the window into the four elements, was the only thing Ink could discern amidst the enveloping darkness. It grew smaller and smaller as he ran, eventually growing so small that it resembled the moon on a well-lit night. You can't hear it, but there's ominous wind. I don't know why there's wind in nothingness, but yeah, I'll do the thing for you.
All right. Now, now do that when I'm talking.
All right. With no one apparently in pursuit, Ink quickly turned to his companion. Please no. As he let go of her hand, she returned to what seemed to be her default pose.
For what it's worth, I'd like to believe you're still in there, somewhere. I guess that's why I took you with me. Even if you're not real, and even if I'm a fool for falling for you. I just couldn't leave you hanging.
Dude, just watch internet porn. Jeez, dude, you don't need...
Why has he got to bring his anime body pillow?
Honestly, everywhere he goes, it's creepy.
That's why I started
that porn saxophone music. If only we could hear it.
That's why I started laughing, because I thought of that instead of it just being like an AI robot, and I was just I crack myself up sometimes. If even there's the smallest chance that you're still in there, I wanted you to get away from that monster that did this to you. I figured you'd appreciate it.
Hold on.
She wants the D.
Yeah.
Shut up, Henry.
Yeah, good joke.
Hey,
Duh.
Did her face change?
Maybe.
Does it? If you
She
go
looks
back.
mad now.
Yeah, she's angry. Don't talk to me. That's what she's gonna say.
Aether, is that actually you?
I bet her eyes glow red and she starts to fight us in an epic action scene.
And then she's the Terminator.
Detect.
Oh!
Detect? Detect what?
Dot.
And then change into Sean.
Come on, Aether. If you're in there, give me a sign.
Changes into Sean.
No, it was a trap.
Give consent.
I just need some kind of sign.
Did it sent? Consent? Yeah. Funny.
It's likely residual data.
Wait,
This is Duder talking.
yeah, this,
Doesn't that sound a little familiar?
Why would
What's
that
that
sound
supposed to
familiar?
mean?
I don't know, but that's one that sounds cool. So let's go with that one.
It does.
I can explain.
I wanna go with
Yeah.
it's likely residual data or the middle one.
This one sounds lame.
Well,
Well, would you like me to explain why the
Ah.
middle one kind of makes sense?
Sure.
For me, it was, she said side. And it goes back to one of the first choices you make when you're in the room with her, detective or sidekick.
Oh, detective. Oy oy oy.
detect. I thought it was the
I-
other people tracking him, John and Tiana.
Yeah, that's fine.
No, she said side for me. I was really freaking confused.
So the
I
sun.
feel like detect would have made me think that too, but she's like side, and I'm like, huh? What sides? We're in the middle of nothing.
This one.
Yeah,
Let's
sure.
go with that one.
Doesn't that sound a little familiar? Listen closely and I think you'll understand what she's trying to say.
You? I thought you'd left.
And miss the exciting conclusion? I think not.
So that's the investor.
Yeah.
You've been awfully quiet then.
I'm an observer, Ink. A gentle breeze.
Hey, that's where the wind comes in.
Oh.
It was never my intention to change the course of this game. Even now, whether you live or die is entirely up to you.
So who are you, really?
I think that's something you're better off asking once you've made it out alive. Please don't mind me. I only wanted to offer my 2 cents in regards to Aether.
It's a very you answer.
Dad.
Hey, Aether.
We flickered. Does that mean she's just not even there anymore?
I did see the flicker though. Stop it. Aether?
Though Ink could see for miles in every direction, Aether was nowhere to be found.
Curious.
Great, so now I'm just gonna be staring at this wavy
I'm
spot.
Batman.
Where could she have gone? I only turned away for a second.
There are still many things we don't know about this place.
I'm
Though,
Batman.
is that not someone over on the horizon?
Oh, fudge. Looking back at the 4 elements, Ink could spot a solitary figure backlit against the light of the hotel. But it wasn't Aether. It was Sean. His features were indistinguishable at such a distance, but there was no mistaking his arrogant gait. He was headed straight for Ink.
Damn it.
Looking for Aether will have to wait, it seems. I think it's about time I shut up for good. This is your moment, not mine.
Will we ever speak again?
That's doubtful. Which is a shame, because I feel like I got to know you quite well in the end. I'll take solace in that. Farewell, Ink.
turned to Sean once more. The man had significantly closed the gap in the time I'd been speaking to Ink. All Ink could think to do was run. He turned away from Sean and broke into a full-on sprint. Not daring to look back, Ink continued to run as fast as his legs could carry him, but he couldn't outrun the sense of dread nor the nausea that followed.
Oh,
Taking a moment to wipe the blood from his mouth, Ink made the mistake of turning around. In spite of Ink's incessant running, Sean had made up even more distance. How was that possible? If this kept up, Sean would be on him in mere minutes. That left only one course of action.
I can't outrun him. I'm not sure why, but I can't. I'll need to stand up to him then.
Ink contemplated what he should do with the precious few minutes he had before Sean reached him. But what could he do in such a short time? He had no means of defending himself. All he had on him was his Gemini
Oh!
and the letter Beth had given him.
Alex, you're speaking wrong.
Great, I gotta whip this out.
That's what she
One
said.
final time, I guess.
Listen, if for whatever reason I don't survive exit/corners, I need you to open this envelope the moment you escape.
When
I did not miss this
Beth turn
voice.
into Mickey Mouse?
I don't remember the voice I used. It was like 9 months ago when she died.
Just go.
If something happens to me, so be it. But this letter must make it out of here. Gosh, Goofy.
The moment I escape. I've escaped the hotel, technically. Is that enough? It'll have to do. Sorry, Beth. It looks like I'll need your help one last time.
Ink tore open the seal and peered inside the envelope. To Ink's surprise, there was not one but 2 separate letters inside. The first was addressed to Liza. The second was addressed to...
Nolan Thatcher. That's the one I'm reading then.
Because I am Nolan Thatcher.
I don't know if anyone's listening anymore, but... Nolan, if you're out there, pay attention.
Ink unfolded the letter and began to read aloud.
Wait,
Dear
do I read this or does Henry read
It
this?
says Beth.
Gosh,
The rules
darn
doesn't.
it.
You don't have to read it in Beth's voice. Don't worry, we'll all hate it. Or I can read it if need be.
No, I have no more voices if I don't do best. At this point, everybody else is a meme, so...
Dear Nolan,
Wow, I can go higher.
if you're reading this, then I've passed on as a result of your game. While I've never known whether my death was intentional or simply happenstance, I'm positive that you knew it was at least a possibility. While I was so poor a mother that you would have me killed, I can only hope that's not the case. There are countless things I want to say to you, but my time grows short. I'll have to focus on what's important. I suggest that you do the same. First of all, as you've likely guessed, I know who you really are. I'll continue to address you as Nolan throughout this letter because, if I'm being frank, that's who you are now. You're still my son, of course, but your life is your own. Gasp there, Ink.
Whoa.
I'm not dead. I know. I don't know how you've managed to convince me that you were dead all these years, but I suppose that if one has enough money, such things become possible. The logistics no longer matter to me. I'm not upset at you for buying a new name or a new life. I don't blame you for wanting to start over after all that happened. What I do blame you for is neglecting to tell me that my granddaughter was still alive. Are you aware of how much grief that would have spared me?
Ink is reacting real time, sorry.
I suspect I have had to believe she was dead for this scheme of yours to work, but you were a fool to think I wouldn't recognize my own family. I was a redhead back in the day, you know. You're correct in that I couldn't identify her based on how she looks or acts. She's changed a lot since she was young, and I've forgotten much in my old age. But I will never forget her laugh. When she laughs, the whole world lights up and her family is whole again. If just for a moment. I'm a cheesy old grandma.
In the garden.
In the
That's when
helium.
Beth left the garden.
It wasn't helium, you know it.
The moment I figured out who this Liza really was, a realization dawned on me. Not only were you involved with exit corners, why is there no slash there? Alright, because I didn't know. You had a large part in orchestrating it. You acted as a contact for both of us, after all. If you had really been trying to help us, you would at least have told me that my granddaughter was with me.
Roll credits. Kind of.
Not really. If I had to guess, you're now probably wondering why I didn't speak up if I knew the truth. To be honest with you, I'm having difficulty putting it into words myself. Cat, I swear to God, I'm gonna kill you.
There's a cat in the afterlife?
She wrote
Crazy
it
old
all
cat
off.
lady.
If I had to pick a reason, it's because I ultimately still trust you. Why? I don't know, you told me you shot yourself, but, we're here. I know that somehow this grand plan of yours is all for Liza's sake. I can't understand how or why, but I know you wouldn't go to such extremes unless you thought it was for a good reason, like money. I knew that you would never do anything to hurt your daughter, and so I let the game take its course. But I couldn't let you become a murderer. Kinda. I couldn't just sit idly and watch you and Ray give up on a life. Oh, had Ray give up on life. Do I really have to explain to my own son that killing is wrong? Nothing. No matter the reasons, no matter your ambition, it's worth taking another person's life. I can posthumously absolvingly... What?
Posthumously.
I am posthumously absolving you of my own death.
Oh, shut up. Continue.
A cumulonimbus class?
Flippin' 1048.
Fine.
Not only do I forgive you for it, but I took this road knowing full well where it might lead. Hi, Zach, I'm sorry you have to deal with this.
Who's Zach in this afterlife? There's a cat in
The other
the
Zach.
Quite the voice, by the way.
He's the real one who shot himself.
It's Mickey Mouse, that's what it is.
Shut up! So help me, Nolan. I pray that I'm not the... I am the only one.
Pray that others died with me!
I am a letter. One of my fellow captives has likely delivered this letter to you. Even if they've escaped the hotel, or even if exit corners is over, you still have some sure of control over them. But still, I trust you to do the right thing. Do you understand? Am I expecting an answer? No. It's rhetorical. I'm asking you to listen to your mother one last time. Let these people go. And after you've let them go, take responsibility for what you've done. Help them recover. Look after them. They'll need your help, and they deserve it too. They're bright, determined, and compassionate. You'd like them if only you got to know them.
Oh, that's sweet.
Know that I've always loved you, Nolan. Always. Even when we didn't see eye to eye, even after you had kidnapped us, even as you murdered me. I loved you because I know what wonderful things you're capable of. I've seen you as a kind, caring, and responsible. What the heck? I can't read. You have so much potential, my final request is for you to live up to it.
Oh great, when my family's walking by, they can hear me make this voice.
Let them go. Your mother, Beth Marsh. Oh, Elizabeth Marsh, I forgot that I wrote my full name.
He continued to stare at the letter, not believing his eyes.
Wait a minute. I got... So the Nolan is
Say, what's your name?
Audible gasp.
Nothing that concerns you.
Ink tucked the letters back into his jacket. So are you done with your little temper tantrum? Ink didn't deign to answer. Not that it mattered. Sean was happy to keep on rambling on. Seriously, making me come all the way out here?
That didn't make you do anything.
Trust me, I wouldn't be out here if I didn't have to be. If I'm being honest, Ink, I'm starting to get real annoyed with you.
Exit Corners is over. You said it yourself. Why do you even care what I do at this point?
No credits. You think I can just check out of here anytime I want? It's not safe to leave the simulation while other people are still frolicking around in it, firing off brainwaves. Could lead to synaptic overload, apparently. Long-term damage. Now, I don't know what that's like, but I'm not interested in finding out. It's safer for all of us to leave when... it's safer for all of us if we leave corners in sync. You get me?
So you need me to help... You know what? So you need me to get out of here yourself.
Yeah, exactly. We need Ray and Liza too. Diana's fetching them as we speak. Where's Liza?
Yeah, I was wondering that earlier, and you guys think
She's just
about
been
it.
walking here for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, out my room.
Anyway,
Why is everything so black? What happened to the rest of the world?
let me walk you back.
I'm not going anywhere with you.
Buddy, come on.
Oh, I thought I muted. My bad.
Never. And I'm not your buddy, Sean. Not anymore.
Now's not a good time to be suddenly rebellious, Ink. It won't work out the way you expect it to.
We'll see about that.
I'm serious. The way I see it, you've got two options. Option one is to come with me and leave corners with the rest of us. Cooperate with me and you'll wake up safe and sound in the real world.
Assuming you don't kill me outright before I wake up.
Well, option two is for me to kill you right here, right now. Not the ideal outcome, I'll admit, but at least your mind won't be active anymore. That means an easy exit for the rest of us.
So it's that easy, huh? You'd kill me just like that without so much as a second thought.
Sean simply laughed. Do you want to know the reason we chose you? The real reason? An 80-year-old shut-in, a sheltered, homeschooled little blind girl, a lone wolf with an irreparable social life, and an unremarkable English student who cut all ties to his family. You're losers. All of you. You're just losers. Being here is a risk, a huge risk. There's no guarantee any of you would have survived. Still no guarantee of that, actually. We've never done anything like this before. But you know what? Nobody would miss you if you died. Any of you. To put it simply, you're worthless. Ink steeled himself with a deep breath, hoping his expression didn't betray the panic he felt. He couldn't afford to lose face. It would just give Sean more power over him.
So this is what you're really like, huh? A sociopath? A murderer? You're doing this all for... what, money?
Not just money, clout, stability. I don't know about you, but I'm more happy but I'm more than happy to set myself up for the future. I want a good life.
Even if it means robbing someone else of theirs.
It's surprisingly easy, as I found out earlier today.
You're pathetic.
Sean thought that was funny, apparently. He thought everything was funny. Ink looked beyond Sean, back at the hotel. The screen of light was minuscule in the distance.
For a while there, I thought there'd be some benevolent explanation behind everything. I really did.
into some death game and you think that someone's doing it out of the goodness of their heart? You really are naive.
So be it. I'd rather be naive and hopeful than whatever the fuck you are.
Ha! Where'd this backbone come from, huh? I'd almost be impressed if it weren't so... frustrated. Sean looked ink dead in the eyes. His face was devoid of emotion. Time's up, Ink. Sean approached Ink with plodded steps, terrified, and couldn't help but back up himself. His mind raced with many ways Sean might try to murder him. Fortunately, he caught himself and cast those thoughts aside.
No, damn it. If I want to get out of here, I've got to focus.
Yeah.
He knows that I can't outrun him, so he's being deliberate, careful. If I break into a run, he'll be on me in an instant.
Instead, still backing up, Ink tried to match Sean's pace. Blessedly, it hadn't prodded Sean to speed up. Not yet, at least. Ink was thankful, yet he needed as much time as he could get.
If there's one thing I know about you, Sean, is that you love the sound of your own voice. I'll probably buy myself a few moments if I can get you talking.
Unfortunately for Chris.
I know how you did it.
What?
Beth, I know how you killed her.
Is that right?
You asked Scent to trigger an earthquake when Aether was in the furthest room, like I did back in your headquarters. They're not so bad if you know they're coming. You used that opening to slip past Aether.
Congrats. Not sure what you're trying to accomplish here.
Crap, I expected him to challenge me on that.
Sean sped up ever so slightly. Ink mirrored his change in speed, but it was tough. It was difficult for him to walk backwards with any semblance of speed.
What else have I got? I'm not worthless, you know.
Is that right?
Being an introvert doesn't make me worthless.
Sorry.
Well, I mean, getting carried away with stories doesn't make me worthless. Wanting to fall in love, wanting a partner doesn't make me worthless.
Oh, please. You just wanted to tap that. You wanted to get in those sheets, you feel? Not that you even properly could.
You're crossing a line, Sean. Christ, I thought you were better than this.
Well, I am about to kill you.
Sean sped up, again. Panic set in.
If I walk backwards any faster, I'm probably going to trip. Doesn't matter that the ground is perfectly flat.
Then, an idea.
Hold on a second. If this place really is made up of our thoughts and expectations. Sean?
What now?
Ink took out his Gemini and held it out in front of him. He made sure Sean was looking at it. Then he dropped it. The two of them were transfixed on the device as it fell through the air, plummeting down to the floor. Except there was no floor.
There had never been a floor.
Ink repeated the words to himself in his head, then aloud. The Gemini continued to fall further and further, well beyond the bottom of Ink's souls, until it was swallowed by darkness.
What are you...
We're about to fall.
The floor gave way as the words left his lips. Ink surrendered to the air.
Whoa!
What is that?
No, what's that other one?
Did he just beat the bad guy using Looney logic?
It was relaxing, in a way. Behind him, below him, rather, you could hear Sean screaming.
I wasn't wrong, you know.
Ink doubted Sean would be able to hear him. Not that it mattered. This was as much for him as it was for anyone who might be listening.
Call me naive if you want. I am, I admit it. But that doesn't make me worthless either.
Ink felt a calming chill envelop him as if he were buffeted by a strong breeze.
I think the time you've spent in corners has distorted the way you think. The contestants, we aren't disposable just because you think we are. We aren't devoid of worth because, apparently, no one would care if we died. Corners may run on negative space, but the real world doesn't. You can't measure someone's value by the hole they leave when they're gone. These people you think are worthless, I've seen them pull themselves back from the very brink of hopelessness. All of them, it's incredible.
We were shaking for a second and now we're not. I don't know if that was just I don't know.
I wasn't looking.
See, like, after
Sean
the
is
text
moving
goes,
back and forth.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
but,
I
like,
see that.
Ink, like, when the text goes, he shakes because the game can't handle it.
Let them be a lesson to you and me. If they could turn things around, then so can we. If they could find hope, happiness, then so can I.
There was nothing left to say. He closed his eyes and relaxed, letting gravity take the wheel. And so, he fell. And fell.
Oof.
CORNERS has encountered an unresolvable problem to prevent. Oh. I didn't get to read that.
Oh.
So the bad guy was defeated using Looney Tunes logic.
Using what?
Looney Tunes logic.
Relatively.
Check your standings.
Fine. The game is having a rough time. Okay.
Oh, how are the frames? Not good.
F off.
Oh. God damn. I mean,
Yeah,
her
the frames
AI
are
is
That just
bugged.
might be
bugged.
2 bars.
Mine is like that after 28.
The AI is bugged.
I think it's intentional.
It
She was-
probably is.
She was
Matt
programmed to
just got it
love her
before he
him unconditionally.
Yeah, but now.
Matt just got it before he played 25, so he was really confused.
Oh,
Hey, Ray went up, I think. That's nifty.
Cool.
Liza went up.
Did she?
Yeah.
Well, zoinks, indeed.
Oh.
Well, that was a lot.
That was fudge.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Aether trusts us a little over twice as much as anyone else could possibly.
I wonder where Aether went. I wonder if that'll be resolved. Cause like, oh, she's gone.
Yeah, she kind of fizzed out of there.
It doesn't
Yeah.
really make much sense.
You kinda
Yeah,
need
the
to
question
see-
is, what happens when the game crashes?
I mean, did they just disable her program and then Sean was trying to catch up with, you know what I'm saying?
You find out what happens if you have the secret.
What?
Oh. Wait, all the secrets or just a secret?
Yeah, all the secrets.
Oh.
Matt told me he'd show me where all the secrets are, so we could have like a separate. We'd have to do a full thing. I don't know. We'll figure.
Unless he gives us his chapter code.
Which he
thing.
could.
Not necessarily. There's only like 4 or 5 things I think you guys would have to do, and you just can click enter to skip through all the dialogue.
Yeah.
It'd like take 10 minutes max.
So maybe
That was weird.
it's a good episode.
Yeah. How long was it?
Well, probably an hour and a half.
Oh boy.
And we didn't even make any choices except for the one about if Aether's still in there.
That was interesting.
Huh.
And also the finale. So that's interesting too.
But
I
we
wish
haven't used
my
it.
character wasn't such a beta, but you know what are you gonna do?
I wish my character didn't have an annoying voice because my throat hurts.
You're complaining that your character was an arsonist? Was a beta? Mine was an arsonist.
Ray was cool.
I feel like Henry was just kind of having a full-on confession while in character. Like, it's okay to be an introvert, you know, I'm not worthless.
We're all
wish I had a better-
introverts.
I know. They, like, seem to describe us. It's like, you know, we're all introverts. At least Brian
What do you
and I
mean? I'm
are lost
incredibly
stories.
outgoing.
Yes, you
You know,
sure
not
are.
so much about, like, finding the love kind of thing. Because, you know, like, who cares? We're only 18 or 19. And then, like, Sean just said what our entire goal for this game was. He just wanted to bang Aether.
I wanted Liza.
Liza.
Yeah, I wanted
the
Liza.
first, like,
goddammit.
9 chapters, you guys were all about banging Aether. And then you switched to Liza when she had that smile. And
Yeah, because I was like, oh, she thick. So we went for it.
Yuck.
You know. You know how it goes.
So
Listen,
why
nobody
was that Sean
shipping-
trying to kill you guys?
Because he was the bad guy.
Yeah. Like, he was supposed to be our friend, which I don't know if you were ever here for him. But
No.
he was
No.
he was our original contact, and he was supposed to be Inks, the main character's kind of best friend. And
Oh.
he ended up joining the game, revealed the plot in the end, which was this episode more or less, and then tried to kill us so he could actually leave and stop vomiting blood.
And then we beat him with Looney Tunes logic.
We sure did.
I mean, the secret ending is a lot more Looney Tunes, in my opinion.
Well, we'll do that one
Oh.
later, and by later I mean I don't know when.
Yep, next
I mean,
time.
as
Or
in,
not
what's
next
up a
time.
YouTube video? Maybe someone else has done it already.
I mean, why don't we just do it ourselves, Henry?
I guess.
Matt and I will do it probably. I'm sure you just don't like to have fun, Henry.
Is this game even fun?
It's relatively enjoyable.
I sure. It was fun making new voices, but you know, it's just.
So what does that leave me with then for things figured out beforehand?
You got lucky.
Yeah.
Blind, AI, that's it.
Pretty much.
Hmm.
I mean, it was painstakingly obvious though with the cards.
Aether was the only one who wasn't affected by the exit corners bug throughout the entire thing.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Fudge.
Yeah, I noticed that. I definitely noticed that.
Sean and Tiana were affected by it a lot.
Because they knew.
Exactly, but like, that's why I kept pointing out the whole, like, you know, belief in your reality thing, like, all the freaking time, and you guys just kept pointing off, like, nothing.
For one,
I'm like, oh,
I
by
don't
the
remember
way,
you
Liza
saying it.
said,
Okay. I don't remember you saying any of that. 2, don't try to tell us things. Flippin' idiot. This is our playthrough.
I was pointing it out before I knew it
Yeah.
was a simulation.
Mhm.
379, when translated into letters, is CGI, for one.
this game had real great CGI, great animation quality.
Honestly.
Every time someone said, like, the words, or in some capacity a paraphrased form of "I don't believe," or "It's hard to believe," something similar to that, that's when they would get the exit corners bug. "It's impossible" was another form of that. And as they started doubting things, especially Ink, about the blue ink thing, that's when he had his major seizures.
Yeah.
And I kept pointing that out, especially to Henry, but I don't really know if he remembers, because I told him pretty much
No.
the entire theory after 25.
Which one was 25?
Well, Zach played one chapter with us and said
That was
it
like
was a
3 chapters ago, wasn't
simulation.
I mean, simulation idea was, kind of generic.
Yeah, kind of.
We passed it off because it was generic.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, Zach, you really don't know what's really going on. Probably not.
Speaking of probably not, and the flippin' video. It's
Sounds
probably.
like a good idea.
I don't want to edit this. Oh, it's gonna take forever to process. Fudge!
So, scribbly ho with everybody?
F off, I have things to do. I'm gonna go to bed.
Ugh.
Well, Zach's here, man.
Don't you
Yeah.
sigh at me.
Next here.
Yeah, you guys have your fun. I know I'm the center of fun here, and that it's impossible to have it without me. No sarcasm intended.
For Henry, maybe.
For all of you, it's fine. I know I'm the center of all your lives. It's okay.